Welcome to the Poor Man's Retro Game Room, and welcome to my latest pickup video. Man, I had a pretty good month, and I had a really good day today. So I'm going to kind of go through just the stuff that I picked up over the month, and we're going to talk about it. Had a great day today. Went down to Fort Morgan, Colorado to Always Picking. Man, that store is amazing. If you're in this area, make sure and go to Always Pickin' in Fort Morgan, Colorado. The owner is extremely nice, great customer service, of course, but he also deals with me. I go in there often, probably about every 2 weeks. We're in Fort Morgan, and we always, hit Always Pickin' anytime we're there. And so, I've kind of gotten to know him a little bit, and it's been great. Man, he's had some really killer stuff in, too. Couple of Sega CD games, and went over there and I was looking at them. There's one that I've been wanting to get. We're going to take a look at those too. And he bundled them together, made me an offer. I'm like, yeah, man, I can't turn that down. Let's do that. And then he also made me an offer, of course, on the NES games. He hadn't cleaned them yet, tested them, so he brought them out. I made a stack, and boom, we're ready to go. So, all right, we're going to start off with those NES games. The first one here is NES Play Action Football, and this was a fun game. It's not a great football game, but back in the day when your choices were Tecmo Bowl, which is the king of sports games, and I absolutely love Tecmo Bowl, Super Tecmo Bowl. But every now and then you'd want to change it up a little bit, and that's what I would do: play some NES Play Action Football every now and then. And I played against my nephew. It's either I think it was my cousin, Thomas, that we were playing one night when I'd just gotten it. And, it was pretty late at night, and we're getting a little loopy. We were playing it, and when you'd get a first down on the game, the referee was supposed to come out and say, "First down!" Well, what we heard, and we both heard it, and we looked at each other and just died laughing. It was hilarious, man. I mean, I'd laughed so hard. This is what it sounded like. I run the ball, I get a first down, and the referee comes out and goes, "Bosom!" That was it. Bosom. So, it's kind of a running joke. Anytime we talk about NES football, play action football, it always comes up, bosom. So, just an inside joke. It's pretty funny, and we had a good time. It wasn't that great of a game, but even on the some of the clunker games, if you had a buddy with you playing it, you could make it fun, man. We had a lot of fun, and we would trash bad games too. It was hilarious. But anyway, then another one that I don't currently have in my collection is Dr. Mario, and then Jaws, an LGN special right here. Yeah, so I've heard some people that actually like this game, and so I'm going to try it out. I've never played on the NES. I've seen it played. I know what it's all about. And so, I figured, heck yeah, it's a good opportunity to pick it up, add it to my collection. And then some of the black box games or the older games, Slalom, really, I always like having them in my collection. And it's fun to go back and play those and kind of remember the very early years of the NES. It's cool. The other pinball game that I did find, and this is the one that I'm kind of the most excited about as far as the NES games, and that is Pinbot. I've been wanting to get this. It's not an expensive game by any means. It's common, but I just have never ran into it, so glad I did, and glad I was able to add that to my collection. I'm going to be checking it out later tonight once I get these cleaned. And pinball, the regular NES black box pinball. Nothing great there, but I love video pinball games. So I also love video wrestling games, good ones anyway. And I hear this one's not bad. So WrestleMania Steel Cage Challenge. I'm looking forward to this, and it has the all-time greatest wrestler right on the cover there. You can see him right there. That's right. Nobody better than Randy, the Macho Man Savage. Good stuff, man. Wish he was still with us, but man, he left a legacy. All right, so then another game that I've I rented it back in the day, loved it. Everybody had it, I think, or at least played it. But Rad Racer, and it's just a good racing game for the NES. I like this game. Brings back a lot of cool memories. It's very nostalgic. And then I've seen this one out several times, see it on eBay and stuff, and I just, never felt the need to pick it up. But in this case, I thought, yeah, it's a good opportunity to add this. Super Mario Brothers Duck Hunt, and yeah, so we're doing pretty good. I am glad to add this. And I don't know, man. I was trying to think how many Super Mario Brother games I do have, because you've got the ones with the different labels, the ones that came out different times, and then you got the regular black box Super Mario Brothers, and then you got the one with the Duck Hunt, and then there's different ones, and that's probably the 5th Super Mario Brother game that I own. So as far as just Super Mario Brothers, and then another wrestling game. I'm not looking for, I'm coming into this with my eyes wide open. This is not supposed to be a good game. It's probably not. Track and Field 2. And then another wrestling game, and it's WrestleMania Challenge, sorry. There you go. And man, yeah. Greatest wrestler of all time. Right there. There you go. All we need is Elizabeth, and yeah, the label would be complete. All right, so now let's look at a couple of the other things that I found at Always Pickin'. These are the Sega CD games that I wanted. Cobra Command. I have not played this, I have to confess, but I think he had $16 on this one. Not a bad price at all. It's got the manual. The discs are in immaculate condition. I mean, they're in perfect condition. But then Night Trap. This is awesome, man. I've been wanting this for a very long time. He had a price of $34 on it, and what he did was he basically gave Cobra Command to me for like $6 because he made me an offer $40 for both the CDs. I'm like, yeah, gotta do it. So, man, if you're watching, thank you so much. And it was a great deal. It was cool being in your store today and checking it out, man. If you're in Fort Morgan, anywhere around Fort Morgan, it's worth the trip even from the Front Range. But Always Pickin'. Excellent. This is going to be, let's get into my eBay pickups. 2 games I've wanted for a long time, just never had a chance to add them to my collection. This one I could not pass up. I looked at this one, and I favored it, and then I ended up getting an offer on it, and it was a good offer. It was kind of what I would have probably have offered him for it. So I was like, yeah, let's do that. And one of the reasons I took it and was quick to take it was just the absolute mint condition that it's in. I mean, it's amazing. Even the clamshell's just in perfect condition. So, it's really cool. It's a great game, too. I mean, it's a lot of fun. It's a really good platformer. And really cool for the grandkids, too, when they come over and play. They always love anything with Mickey Mouse on it. But the other one from eBay, and I've been wanting this game for a long time. It's a Super Nintendo game, and it's a shoot 'em up, Axelay. And I've played this probably 5 or 6 times, and I really, really like it. It's pretty cool, man. There's some really cool graphic effects on this game. Very, very cool. And finally, a really cool SNES shooter that I like. I know there's some really good ones out there, but I haven't played a lot of them. So I saw a review on Axelay, and I'm like, man, I gotta check that out. I got it, and I really like it. I really, really like it. So we'll see how much I like it in the later levels, if I can get there. Because it is fairly difficult. For me, it is anyway. All right, so 8Bitdo. I purchased some controllers from 8Bitdo over the month, and found some really good deals. Man, Amazon had some really good specials on them. This one's probably, I've had it for a little longer than a month, but the SNK Neo Geo 8Bitdo clicky stick. Buttons are correct. Everything is just perfect. I love this controller. But, you know, I could use it on the Neo Geo Mini. I wanted to use it on my Neo Geo CD under the CRT over there. Man, yeah, I wanted to use it with my Neo Geo CD. Well, I went to Stone Age Gamer, kind of looking around, thinking, I wonder if something's out. And of course it is. And there you go. Well, let's do this. So the Neo Bluetooth, it connects this controller to my Neo Geo CD, and it works absolutely great. Works perfectly. I love this, man. That is so cool. I have the, you know, wired controller, the original OG controller, and I love it too, of course, but it's just nice to have a brand new Neo Geo CD controller and the Bluetooth receiver so that you can actually use this, and there's no lag. It works absolutely perfectly. It was very easy to pair, everything. So really cool. I highly recommend, if you go to Stone Age Gamer, you can find that. I am not sponsored by anybody, by the way. Not anybody. So Amazon, none of that. I'm not that popular. But Stone Age Gamer, man, this is awesome. All right, so the 8Bitdo. So I'm going to give you a positive review on this. It works great. I'm going to give you a very positive review on the Super NES 8Bitdo controller, and I believe it was $24 on sale when I got it, I think. Something like that. It was really close, if not. And a wireless SNES controller. In the actual same size, shape, everything of, you know, an original. And it plays absolutely perfect. Plays perfect on the SNES, on the, you know, CRT, of course, no lag, nothing. But then I also used it with my Super Retro Trio connected to the HD, no lag at all. It plays just like if I had one, you know, wired in. So really happy with this one. Yeah, it's excellent. Now it only comes, the one that I got, it only has the receiver for the, you know, the Super NES. So it didn't come with like a USB receiver as well. So you know, I think it's just kind of made just for the SNES, and I love it. Absolutely fantastic. Then I tried their other their NES controller. It's the one that has auto fire, and it was on deep sale too. And you know, I've had mixed results with this. I went into my Discord server with our trade group, and I just put in there "don't get it" because I just had a really terrible experience with it. I had it on my NES, and I had it on the CRT, original hardware, everything, and I was getting lag big time. Playing Super Mario Brothers, that's kind of the go-to to make sure, you know, that there's no input lag. Man, I was getting it big time. And then also when I would run and I'd let go, Mario would just keep running, you know, for another 5 or 10 seconds and then stop. And I'm like, well, you know, that's not going to work. This thing sucks. So I took out the receiver, I put it away, sent it back to Amazon. They sent me another one. This one seems to work. I don't know. Seems to work. I will say that the auto fire doesn't act like, you know, you have auto fire on the Max controller. I love the Max controller, by the way, and that auto fire is just perfect. This one doesn't seem to work as good as that, and it, like, sometimes you'll see a little bit of maybe a misfire or something, and it kind of tails off if you hold it in for, you know, too long. So I don't know, man. I can't really recommend this one. I don't know. I'm just not really happy with it. But anyway, so there you go. Yeah, a bunch of controllers. You know, there's months where you don't buy anything, but then there's times where you'll go in and you'll have a deal that you just can't turn down. You know, especially if you're a collector. And and you know the pricing and all that. So I'm very, very thankful for always picking. They're always great, and if you're in Northeast Colorado, check them out. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me today, and I would love to hear from you in the comments. Do you have any experience with any of these NES games, especially some of the wrestling games that I haven't played? I'd love to hear from you. Man, yeah, anybody would love to hear from you. So anyway, I think that's about it. I think I'm going to wrap it up here. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me today, and until next time, we'll catch you later.